Oh, sorry guys, I had it on the mute deal. Okay, here's what I got going. This live stream was supposed to fail. I set this up just like I have the last 3 times at the track, and scheduled everything beforehand, got the thumbnail done beforehand off of the laptop, the tags and all the description and everything, and then shut the laptop down and shut the live stream equipment down. Then every time I go to the track and I turn around and I set it all back up, it won't go live. Every time I press the live button, it says on the LiveU box itself that I'm live, but it doesn't put live on anything else. Won't connect it to YouTube. So I did it all the exact same way again, hoping that it would show me not live, and then I could start figuring out what the problem was. But as y'all see, it's live again. Oh, B-man, you fell asleep before the big rim. Man, I end up losing service on my other camera deal, where we're not losing service, but where it zooms in and locks the zoom, so I can't zoom it in or out, and it locks it in. So I end up shutting the live down, and I videoed some of the races last night, and then came home, and me and Melissa worked on this, because this is the equipment I want to use if I can figure out how to get it to go live each time. It seems like when I'm at home, which I have the worst service here, I'm running at 6,691 kbps, and at the track yesterday I was running at 28,000 kbs or 26,000 kbs. So I'm not understanding why I can get it to go live here, but I can set up the exact same way at the track and hit the go live, and it shows me on the LiveU that I'm live, but on the camera itself and YouTube it won't load up the live. So we're working on that. We thought we had a couple things figured out last night. We tried a little different and it worked, but I'm tired of wasting everybody's time saying we're going to go live with this high-dollar equipment and get to the races, and then it fails, you know. Then I'm scrambling trying to figure out how to get the live up and running, and then the quality ain't as good. Well, you spend this kind of money, you want the best quality you can get, you know. But we thought we had a couple things figured out last night. All right, if y'all guys are on here, do y'all mind? Anthony J, how you doing, brother? Do y'all mind? Let's do a little test. I want to see what the lag time is. No, you didn't miss much, B-man. I only got through halfway through the first round, and it froze that zoom. Yeah, Dwayne, that's exactly when it was. Is right when I cleaned the lens, it did it. And it did the same thing when we was at Yellow Belly Concrete, Small Tire Gangsters. It did the exact same thing. I cleaned the lens and it locked the screen into that zoom. Walk with this for a minute and see if we can make it interrupt itself. How's the quality of this video? And that was another thing at JJ's race. I turned the quality down to 320, and I had better service than I do here, and I got this set at 1080. Oh, you're leaving Chicago? Heck yeah, how was your stay there, Anthony? we're gonna go for a little walk and see if we can't interrupt this a little bit, or try to see if the service loses out or what it's gonna do. Thank all y'all for coming in, helping me out, giving me a hand. I appreciate that. This is my new land over here. We've lived here about 12 years, and this was all wooded next to us. And they came over and told us one day that they was selling all this, and a salvage yard was going to buy it and turn it into a salvage yard that wraps around our property. So me and Melissa, we couldn't have that, so we moved some money around, bought it, and we cleared it. It goes all the way back to them back tree line over there, y'all can see. That's my dad's old truck. He passed away a few years ago, so I take care of his old truck. Yeah, if you get a salvage yard put next to your property value just drops to nothing. We've been mowing all this with one riding lawnmower. Always comes back here too. I can show y'all back here. There's my dog Axel. Tell me he don't look mean. Dang dog. But it wraps around, it ends up being 4 more acres than what we had. But it wraps around all the way around my back. And the road, y'all seen that road up there earlier. There's my pontoon boat. We don't get to do much fishing now. We're trying to do all this live streaming. Yeah, Anthony, I got a little bit of that backland. That's worked out real good. Sit. I said sit. Speak. Huh? Yeah, good boy. What y'all think of that? Well, I was telling y'all about the mowing. Well, yesterday, Tractor Supply had a deal for Memorial Weekend that you get, I think, a couple years financing for a new mower. Well, Melissa told me it was time for me to get a Father's Day gift worthy of a Father's Day. Went and bought me a mower. So we'd have 2 of them 0 turns. I'll show y'all some more of our projects. This is their trailer here, this enclosed trailer. Melissa bought a couple years ago, or a year ago, I guess. So we'd have an enclosed trailer to travel with our race cars. Pretty good shape. Got a little rabbit hopping around the yard. Bought me a tire machine at a garage sale the other day. Colts 110 or 1010. See this. Let me go in here and turn the lights on. Garage is kind of a mess right now. We was deciding if we was going to get rid of our Hummer. I'll show y'all it. We bought that brand new, that Hummer H3 back in 2008, and that was Melissa's main car for a while. We drove it around the world and back. and we've kind of moved away from it in the last year or two. Nothing really wrong. I mean, it has, you know, minor issues with it, and we was going to sell it and buy a new Toyota Tacoma this year. But with the price of vehicles right now, we sit down and talked about it, and best thing we could do was to go ahead and upgrade it, get it bigger, better, fix the little quirks on it. So my garage is plumb full of all the parts to fix it. The radiator cooling system on them Hummer H3s ain't worth the crap, so I bought a new aluminum 4-core radiator for it. Bought a MagnaFlow exhaust system for it, help it breathe better. Bought some brand new tires. It has mud tires on it, Mickey Thompson's mud tires, but we want it to be more drive down the road, you know, everyday use. So we're gonna pull them Mickey Thompsons off, put them on Dad's truck, and put these new ones on hers. There's a new head in there. Them 5-cylinder straight 5s always have problems with heads, so bought her a new head to put on it. Bought her, the exhaust manifolds always crack, so we got away from the manifold, and I got an exhaust header for it now, so we're going to install that in the next few weeks, get that all back up and running. Oh, heck yeah, B, man. Yeah, that's good property. Hey, thank you. Yeah, we really didn't want to buy the land. Like I said, we've lived here 10 years, and we've owned all this for the last 10 years up to that corner, which is, this is 2 acres right here, or 1.5 acres, I'm sorry. All the way down. My old Ford, that's my pulling truck there. My welding rig, we leave up in Kingfisher and drive the little car back and forth to the house. It's about a 2.5 hour drive, so we get to come home on the weekends. And then it goes down to that power line down there. Our original land, our other land goes all the way, our new land goes all the way back to that second power line. So we haven't dropped signal yet or nothing, guys. The quality didn't go down. Got my little boat under there, my small lake. Everything been on point so far. Man, it's crazy how it does that. Then I don't understand what it's doing when I'm at the track. Like I said yesterday, we was at 24 to 26,000. What is it called? kbps's. And right now we're only at 6,000. And it let me upload it, let me run through this. And the quality's way higher than it was. So I'm not understanding, something I'm doing wrong. I guess what I need to do is call LiveU Solo and ask them what I'm actually doing wrong. I did realize last night that my YOLO Mini was freezing up. So I don't know if that was giving it interference. So I plugged it into the laptop and it had an update. So we updated it. But all this equipment's brand new. We just paid, well, for the camera and everything, close to $7,200 for all this equipment. So you think it would be on point. Set y'all up right here for a minute. Yeah, and T-Bone, he brought up a good point on here earlier. I guess he left it in the comments. But we've been having problems too with, after we've done these videos, them actually uploading to YouTube. Somehow they get lost somewhere. And on the LiveU deal, they're not there. On the computer, I can't find them. So I don't know what the whole gist, which I've always said I'm not computer savvy. Dwayne, I didn't even have it out of the car yesterday though. We had it in the air conditioner all the way down there. It's about a 2.5 hour drive for us down there yesterday. And we got out and walked one lap just to check everything out, get everything figured out, and then I came back and got the camera out of the car. I mean, it was only probably in the car about 20 minutes by itself. So I wouldn't think it's a temperature issue. I mean, it could be. I guess I need to get some more research done on what temperature they can hold, or how to maintain the temperature on them. Maybe that'd be better. But I think what I'll do, I'm gonna make another live. Hey Jay, how's it going, buddy? Madison Township. Takes a day and a half to upload to Anthony. Heck yeah, maybe that's the deal. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just learning, and I ain't the smartest cracker in the box for sure when it comes to this. Like I've said before, I'm a really good welder, and I like working on race cars and stuff. But as far as technology goes, I probably got left back in 04, 05, which is, I guess, what happens to us when we get older. We need to get out and go fishing too. We ain't been fishing in a month or so. There's some good racing coming up, but like me and Melissa was talking, man, I'd hate to go all the way to Indiana for War in the Woods and have total failure like we've had on the last couple of these with this new setup, and not be able to record it or live feed it, or just end up with a whole bunch of problems. You definitely don't want to go to a big race like that against good live streamers and run off your cell phone, or have to run off of a secondary cheaper camera with a cheaper setup because your good stuff is not working. Heck yeah, a good weekend at the track, Jay. That's awesome. Yeah, for sure, B, man. I mean, that's, technology's advanced, and this stuff, man. I was never into this kind of stuff, and it's a whole new world. I told Melissa back when we first started this YouTube channel and we was just doing lives off of our iPhone 14, man, I was having more fun and enjoying it better. It seems like the more equipment we add and all that, the tougher and less enjoyment it is out of the whole thing. Yeah, we are going to come to Edgewater up in Ohio. I think the first Ohio race we're going to try to make is KD. What is that, in July? I think we're going to try to hit that one. And then I think we're going to take a break in August, because this is too dang hot for an old guy to be running around carrying 20 pounds of camera gear. And then I think, what is it, October they got another race up there. So I was going to try to make that one. And if any of y'all guys has got local tracks by you that do no prep stuff, and they got an event coming, email it to me, v8velocityracing@gmail. Because a lot of times I don't see these races, and then guys will tell me I'll be at a race and see somebody, why didn't you come down here? We had a race. And I said, man, I didn't know about it. So if y'all know of any good races around y'all, email it to me, let me know, and I'll check it out. Maybe we can get up that way. Yeah, I hope so, Anthony. I hope. We're trying to work the bugs out now. I'll probably do a couple pop-up lives like this throughout the week, just trying to test it to see what the problem is, why it won't go live. But like I said, I don't understand it, so I'm trying to learn. If I could figure out one reason that it ain't doing it, I'll fix it. I mean, I'm all about doing it. Yeah, Jay Helms, man, I'd love to come by and say hi. And anybody's ever at a race that I'm at, man, stop by and say hi. What's up? Talk to me. That's my whole point of doing this, is hanging out with people. I ain't nobody famous, ain't nobody crazy. I'm just a normal dude like everybody else. I put my pants on one leg at a time. I don't fly, no cape. I actually just work in ditches, welding pipeline. Yeah, Anthony, that's what we was going to do. Don't do the live here. We leave out around 10 or 11 o'clock today and go up to Kingfisher for our week at work up there, which is it's almost 3 hours from here. And that's why I told Melissa, when we get up there, I'll probably schedule a live for like 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock tonight. And I might run out to the lake out there because it's out in the middle of nowhere, kind of like a racetrack. And maybe we'll catch some bluegill or something, and I'll try a live feed there. Christopher, how do you get started with thing? If you're talking about if you're talking about welding or pipelining in general, all I did was, I was a pipe fitter years ago, a millwright, and a construction worker in general. And me and my brother, a lot of people don't know this story, but way back in our younger years, we was both pipe fitters, really good pipe fitters. And he passed away at a real early age in life. And it was hard for me to fit pipe anymore. I was just too emotional, too much invested with all that. So me and my dad sat there and was talking one day, and he asked me what I was going to do. And I said, man, I have no clue. He said, why don't you try welding? Well, I already had a family, so I couldn't go to welding school or none of that crazy stuff. So I dropped down as a welder's helper for about 8 months, 9 months, while I built my truck, got my rig and all my stuff, and turned around, broke out welding. And honestly, it was a struggle. A lot of people say, oh, I was the greatest that ever sliced bread, ran a rod, I can step it, walk it, cross it, what all that bullcrap welders talk. But it was a real struggle in the beginning, learning, getting the jobs, getting the right places. But, you know, fast forward 18, 19 years, I'm a weld boss for a really big pipeline outfit out of Kingfisher, Oklahoma. And I can do most all of it. Yeah, hood life for sure, Jay. Hey, Jay, man, you want to come on. I started out TIG welding. I was a CTW, right when I first broke out single-handing. I used to chase the power plants and the paper mill work. Then I got my welding rig all set up. I wish I had my rig here to show y'all. But got my welding rig set up, and I started doing refinery work. 6010 5P plus uphill bead with 7018 out. I did that for a couple years, and my dad, he called me. My dad was also a welder, but my dad never taught me how to weld. My dad and me, we butted heads from the break, I think. But he called me. He said he was down in Oklahoma pipelining. I was up in Sidney, Montana, welding in I can't remember the name of that refinery, but a big refinery up there. And it was 32 below zero, when Dad called me, he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Man, I'm freezing." He said, "It's colder than heck up here." And he said, "Man, I'm down in Oklahoma. It's 62 degrees right now. I got the window down pipelining," and try to get me to go pipelining. I told him, I said, "Man, pipeline's for old guys that can't crawl in the rack no more." He said, "No, man, it's a good time. You need to come do it." And I put him off. I blew it off. And then about 4 or 5 weeks later, I called him, and it was 55 below zero in Sydney, Montana. I called him and said, "Man, I am freezing. My travel trailer's freezing. I don't know what I'm going to do." He said, "Well, it's 68 degrees here." He said, "I got my window down, drinking iced tea, driving down this right away, goofing off." I said, "Man, I'm on my way." I drug up that day, went down to Oklahoma, took the little weld test, and man, I ain't never looked back. I pipelined for the last 20 years, 18, 19 years, just pretty hard and heavy. Hey, Christopher, if you only know wire welding, man, the best thing you could do if you want to get into pipeline or piping is go to a job where they got rig welders, so they'll have a truck with their welder and all their equipment on it, and hire out as a helper. And when you get there and you're a helper, don't try to be a helper of a young kid that's got $300 boots with $10,000 rims on his truck and all that. Find you an old welder there that got an old beat up truck, an old beat up machine, and you'll learn the most from that guy right there. Hey, William, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, Jay Helms, you could definitely start as a helper. We got a kid in right now. He just went through some kind of trade school. I hired him last week. Went through some kind of trade school. Knows a little bit of welding. Came out, wanted a job. I put him on some weld just to see him, and I couldn't hire him as a welder. Obviously, he was way too green. But I asked him, I said, "Man, if you could be a helper for 6, 7 months, you'll make a welder." And the difference between helper pay and welder's pay, a helper normally makes somewhere around $19 an hour-ish, and a welder makes about $75 an hour-ish for the welder and his truck. 30 years welding experience. You don't need to come be a helper, Jay. You need to just get your rig set up, come out and go pipelining with me. Yeah, Christopher, that is right for sure. Yeah, everybody always asks me, they say, "Man, why ain't you got one of them slicked out fancy Bob King welding beds or Hookem welding beds or them American Force semi rims on your truck?" Or I said, "Man, I have to go in the mud. I got to get down some bad right of ways. I ain't no need to tear up good shit." Well, Jay, have you downhilled any? Like 60-10, 5P plus downhill bead, 80-10 or 70 plus downhill fill and cap, hot pass? Where are you out of, Jay? You're out of, I forget where you're out of. Yeah, once I taught myself how to weld, I told myself if I ever get good enough to teach one person how to weld, I'm going to teach every person I can how to weld, because, man, when I was trying to learn how to fit pipe, there is nobody in the world that would give you a helping hand. If they taught you something, it was wrong. Just arrogance. I cannot stand arrogance. Madison Township, Ohio. Yeah, Jay, send me your information at v8velocityracing.com or at Gmail, v8velocityracing@gmail, and I'll give you a shout, and we can definitely talk and go over some stuff. But I would recommend, if you never pipelined or downhilled like serious business, I would recommend coming out, being a helper for 3 months or so, not just to get your hand into it, but get the feel and the lay of the land, because just going out and jumping off head first is kind of tough. Yeah, Christopher, they definitely like to keep the tricks to yourself. With flash burns, B-man, yeah, I've had my cornea 40% burn off on my right eye, and I've had my eyes drilled and picked probably more times than most people could think. Just stubborn. When I burnt that cornea out, my lens cracked, and I didn't even know my lens cracked. So I welded for about 5 hours on tie-ins with that lens crack. Burnt my eye to heck. It was about, I think, a week recovery. Power Stroke, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, I don't know, Christopher. I don't know why people want to keep the tricks of the trade to themselves. Other than maybe it makes them think they got an upper hand on getting a job over you or something. But my deal is, if you could teach somebody how to weld, and anybody that comes to work with me will verify this, you can teach people how to weld or fit or do a better job. In the end, you're going to end up with a better group of people around you. I got 4 welders under me right now, and 2 of them I taught how to weld. One of them I taught how to weld about 10, 12 years ago. He's on the chat sometimes, at Josh S. I'm telling you right now, he is a bad little dude. Can weld his heart out. And it just made a better group around me, better core guys. Oh, Jay, yeah, stainless is tough, dude, on that flashing. We used to do them boiler tubes, and I hated them stainless tubes. You'd be in there welding, and people would be welding behind you or on the side of you, and that flash was horrible. You just pretty much had to leave your hood on the whole time. Well, I figure we'll go another 20 minutes or so, and we'll shut this down. I appreciate everybody for coming on and hanging out with me, trying to work this out, figure this out. The only thing I really don't like, once I get past this, getting it loaded up and started stuff with this live stream, is there's a 20-second delay from whenever I say something to where y'all actually hear it, or where the races start. There's a 20-second delay before y'all actually see it. So like how we communicate on the chat, which lane or whatever we're picking, it makes that a little hard. Yeah, William, man, there's good looking welders out there. And that's awesome on your nephew. That's why I try to tell everybody, a lot of guys, you'll go up to them and say, man, what do you think my weld looks like? It looks all right, or it looks good. I am not that guy. If I walk up and you got a slick cap on there, a slick hot pass, slick bead, I'm going to let you know. Everybody's like, well, I don't want people to think they're better than me. I don't give a shit if they're better than me. You only get better playing with better people. You don't get better thinking you're the best. And at the end of the day, you're only as good as what you're going to be. I went 2 years without a repair, rolling, I don't know, 300-400 inches of weld a day for years. Do I put the slickest cap on? No. But I know a guy that does put the slickest cap on, or a slick cap. But I put clean, good welds every time, the best of my abilities. And as far as arrogance, I mean, if any of y'all's ever been around a pipeline welder, or a lot of welders in general, there's a lot of arrogancy, and I'm not that guy. Hasn't been no delays today. That is wild, man. That is wild. Now we'll go to a race and it'll all come apart again. Hey, JMs, thanks for coming in. Thanks for helping me out, buddy. And all of y'all on here, man, I appreciate y'all stopping in, helping me out, trying to figure this all out. Hopefully I end up figuring it out. And with y'all's help, it's got to work. Hey, thanks, Dwayne. Yeah, it's nice and quiet out here most of the time. We got a Karen that lives kind of down from us a little bit. She gets a little rowdy when we fire up the race cars or something, but we try to be real respectful. Don't fire them up before noon. Don't start them after 8, 9 o'clock at night. But she'll come out yeeping and yelling at us every now and again. Hey, Backtrack, man, I appreciate that. We're trying. Yeah, we like this place. We lived a lot of years. We lived in towns and residential style stuff. And first chance we got to get this land, get out in the country, we jumped on it. Which we're only 20 minutes south of Tulsa. But if you sit on my front porch and look out, you don't see none of that life. Hey, B-Man, hopefully we get some good content coming. Yeah, I was going to start a YouTube channel on welding aspects and teach people not just necessarily the welding, but the fitting aspect on pipeline. A lot of guys go to that welding school and they learn how to weld where they can pass the pipeline test, and then they get out there. Yeah, they can run on mainline, which if anybody doesn't know, mainline is where they lay all the joints out for a mile or however long the job is, and they take off welding all the pipe above ground. You go real fast, weld hard, and then as soon as mainline's done, they'll put them on tie-ins or fitting up the barrels or something like that, and the guys have no clue in the world how to fit any aspect of it, do measurements, takeoffs, any of the formulas. So I was going to start a YouTube channel just showing that, but man, this YouTube channel is hard enough by itself, let alone trying to have another YouTube channel. Hey, B, man, it's always great hanging with y'all. I've said it 1,000 times. The reason I started this YouTube channel was to have good people hanging out with me on a live feed, making it feel like we was all sitting right there in the big crowd on the bleachers or in the stands or whatever, and hanging out, having a good time, and showing y'all guys some races. Maybe if it's not in your area or not in your reach to get to, that's a good deal. And if y'all don't think I like racing, man, if there's a race going on somewhere and somebody's live streaming it, just go in their live stream. I'll be there. I live and breathe racing. Oh yeah, William. Hey, I don't know if y'all seen my 4th gen Camaro in there. One day I'll take y'all in the shop and show y'all my 4th gen. I got Mike Henson built me a twin turbo LS3 motor, or LS2 motor with LS3 top end. It's going to make about 15 to 1800 horsepower, somewhere around that. I'm going to do True Street with it. But anyway, I was going to buy the Holley Dominator, and everybody keeps telling me, man, check out Fuel Tech, check out Fuel Tech. And I think I need to go on Fuel Tech and do some research on that. A lot of guys are running Fuel Tech and having great luck. And if you can afford a Proline, man, Proline's where it's at. Yeah, Henson built it. I built it a year ago when parts was high. But it's a LS2 408 stroker. It's got a billet forged crank. It's got billet I-beam rods. It's got billet Cali pistons in it. It's got a BTR stage 4 turbo cam in it. The heads are Henson machined. Oh, I can't remember the numbers on the heads, but it's got Jessel shaft rockers on it. It's got all the good parts inside of it. Oh, you want to see my mowers? I just showed everybody that earlier. No name. I actually just got a new mower yesterday. I told the story earlier, but Melissa, we got one 0-turn John Deere riding mower. I think a 50-inch deck or something, 52-inch deck. Well, yesterday Tractor Supply had a Memorial Day sale on bad boy mowers. So we went and picked up us a new bad boy mower. Now we got 2 mowers. Mow this dang grass. All this rain we've been getting, we've had to mow about 4 times, 5 times already this year. There's my new mower. There's my dog. Anybody ever wants to rob me, y'all gotta watch that dog. He's meaner than hell. Yeah, Scott Petty's amazing, man. I've seen him on a lot of them big name guys' cars, helping them get it tuned in. Part goat. No, we try to keep a good yard so our neighbors don't complain. Hey, B-Man, we've made jokes about that. I got a bunch of buddies that's got drag cars, and we're thinking about putting on a car show. And right up there, all the way across right there, we was thinking about lining cars up. Sitting there having revving competitions and burnouts and whatnots for her. The dog is an English Mastiff. He's actually, I can't pronounce it good, but it's a Canario, Presna Canario, which is a Spanish Mastiff. So he's half Spanish Mastiff and half English Mastiff. If you ever see JJ the Boss, his dog Mac, it's the same breed. Yeah, supposedly she called the cops on me right before we went to Yellow Belly. I'd loaded the car up, Melissa's car too, not even one of my loud ones, to take down there to Yellow Belly to race. And she called the cops on me. It was like 7:30 at night, and they told me she was going to move. I said, man, thank God. I didn't know if I had to kill the bitch or not. Excuse my French. Hey, thanks, William. We appreciate it. We work hard to try to keep our yard good. Melissa always tells me I can't go racing until the yard's attended to. All right, guys, I think we've learned about all we can learn on here. Like I said, thank all y'all for coming on and helping me out, hanging out and chatting it up. This is a good time for sure. I'll do a couple of these, or at least one, maybe this evening. When we get up to Kingfisher to try a different area, maybe it's the area, and we'll test it out there. Maybe I'll do one during the week. I'll stage one up now and try by towards the middle of the week. But I got to get this figured out so we can figure out if we're going to make it to War in the Woods this weekend. I need all this stuff to be working and on point before we head that far out. Hey, B-Man, yeah, for sure. Thank every one of y'all. Later, Backtrack. We'll see you. Anthony J, thank you. Dan Paxton, thank you. William, hey, nice hanging out with y'all. All right, we'll see all y'all later. Thank y'all very much.